there's a lot of Nintendo Switch 2 games coming out this year, but there is even more supposedly coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 either in 2025 or 2026. And there's a lot of them, so let's get straight into it. So, starting off, my favorite, Super Mario Galaxy 2. Now you probably all knew this was coming. This is supposedly coming out for the 40th anniversary of Mario, which is really exciting. I'm hoping to see Mario Galaxy 2, and it really looks like we will be seeing it. Nintendo themselves are saying that they're making a remaster of some sort, so this would be the perfect remaster, and I'm really excited. The next game that might come, or most likely will come, is New Super Mario Bros. Now, if you look at the Nintendo Today app, there is a lot of things that suggest that we will be seeing New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Nintendo themselves are putting out random posts that are saying tips and tricks for a game that is like 15 years old. Which is like, why would you do that if you can't even play the game? So overall, this is really interesting, and there's a big possibility that we could be seeing it. There's even leaks and rumors that are saying that we will be seeing a collection with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, New Super Mario Bros. The original, and New Super Mario Bros. 2. So it's a big possibility that we could be seeing these games at some point. Now, another game that we've seen that has a potential to be coming out in 2025 or even 2026 is Kirby Planet Robobot. Now, back in about January, and now just recently, we got some more news that we could be seeing Kirby Planet Robobot for the Nintendo Switch 2 at some point. Now, may this be because of the rumor of the second screen or Nintendo updating the patent came back, or is it because Kirby's Planet Robobot is a fantastic game and everybody wants to see it? Overall, this is something that has a big possibility of coming out to the Nintendo Switch 2. May this be a double pack with Kirby's Planet Robot and maybe triple deluxe. But right now, most rumors or most leaks are pointing towards just Kirby's Planet Robobot. But I have no doubt that we might see Kirby's Triple Lux, because Kirby's Triple Lux is probably one of my favorite Kirby games of all time. Okay, so the next game revolves around the GameCube. Now, the Nintendo Switch Online GameCube is really good, but there's also a lot of games missing for that service. Can you count the games that we are probably going to be seeing at some point, right? Like Mario Kart Double Dash. Now, we've already seen the previous Mario Kart games on every other platform for the Nintendo Switch Online. May this be for the SNES, may this be for the N64, or even the GBA, but we've seen them all. So now is it finally time to see Mario Kart Double Dash on the Nintendo GameCube. I hope that we see it, because I think that game is really phenomenal. It's such a unique way to play Mario Kart, and if there's a lot of players that don't have Mario Kart World, well, you can go back and play the GameCube version of Mario Kart. It's really great. And hopefully we see some online functionality for that game. I would say that we might see it in December. This could be a Christmas game, am I right? Now, another game that might be, hopefully, a Christmas game is Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now, Super Smash Bros. Melee is a game that we've always wanted to see, am I right? See a return, because this is a fantastic Super Smash Bros. Game, and seeing that we're not going to be seeing a Super Smash Bros. Game for probably at least a couple of years means that Super Smash Bros. Melee has to come to the Nintendo Switch 2. This is fantastic, and honestly, I hope that we see it very badly. Now, going into a different territory, The Legend of Zelda. Now, The Legend of Zelda 40th anniversary is next year, and what better way to start off this anniversary than with The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD or 4K. Now, this is a big possibility because, again, we don't have the Nintendo GameCube version of Twilight Princess. We haven't even seen Twilight Princess, and if you take a look at this, the original game was released in 2006. The HD version was 2016. And then going another 10 years, that would be 2026. So if Nintendo is following the trend, we can most likely see The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess at some point. So hopefully we see it, and I'd be really happy. So another Legend of Zelda game that is a big possibility is The Legend of Zelda A Link Between Worlds. Now, The Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds is definitely a unique game, and if we see it on the Nintendo Switch 2, it'd be even more unique because I think that this is one of the greatest 2D Zelda games that we've seen in a long time. They definitely haven't matched a 2D game, but to be honest, we really haven't seen a 2D game in a while, I would say, besides if you count Echoes of Wisdom. But 2D Legend of Zelda mixed with the Legend of Zelda's 40th anniversary, maybe could we be seeing two Legends of Zelda? Or there's also been a rumor or slash leak saying that we were going to see the Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds this year. Now, for me personally, I don't think we're going to be seeing it this year, but there's still a strong chance that we could be seeing it next year for the 40th anniversary. Could this be a collab or a double pack or something? Could be interesting. Maybe for the Legend of Zelda 2D All-Stars. That'd be pretty interesting. So, another game that we have to mention, because it's a pretty big game, is Metroid Prime 4. Now, I'm not saying that this is a game that we're not going to be seeing. No. Metroid Prime 2 and 3. Now, hear me out. Don't you think that if Nintendo releases these games, then people have a chance to play the games instead of going to salvage a GameCube, a Wii, and I'm not quite sure what other platforms these games released on, but anyways, allowing players to play Metroid Prime 2, 3, 4, it would be fantastic because then you can get the entire story straight. Right now you can play Metroid Prime Remastered, which is the first game, then hopefully we can see a double pack of 2 and 3. Nintendo is rumored to be working on a remaster, and could this be Mario Galaxy 2 or could this be Metroid Prime 2 and 3? This would be really interesting, but if we were going to get Metroid Prime 2 and 3, I feel like it would just be a random shadow drop and a random port, just like they kind of did with Pikmin 1+2. So overall, this is really interesting, and hopefully we see something more like this. It would be great. Okay, so now, a game that Nintendo is working on, a game that Nintendo is most likely going to be releasing, or it's not even Nintendo. The Pokemon Company is probably going to be releasing Pokemon Generation 10 for the Nintendo Switch 2, and maybe potentially the Nintendo Switch 1 in 2026. Not only is it the 40th anniversary of The Legend of Zelda, but it's also the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, which is fantastic, so we're going to be seeing a bunch of different games that everyone likes, am I right? Pokemon Generation 10 is supposed to be set in the Cyclades in Greece and potentially even Greek mythology, which is pretty great. Now, another game that hopefully we see for Pokemon Generation 10, and we might actually see it because Nintendo or even the Pokemon Company has put out a bunch of different things leading up to Pokemon Generation 5. Why in the world are we seeing Pokemon Generation 5 Pokemon cards? We're also seeing a random date saying Pokemon, this is how many years Pokemon Generation 5 has been out, and also a bunch of different things for Pokemon Generation 10 or Pokemon Generation 5 if we weren't going to see Pokemon Generation 5 at some point. You know, this would make a lot of sense if we see Generation 5 maybe at the start of the year for the birthday of Pokemon. That would be really great, and then later on in the year we'll see Pokemon Generation 10. That right there would make the most sense to me because this year we're already getting a jam-packed library full of games. Next year would probably be Legend of Zelda and Pokemon, maybe Mario and another game. So overall, that would be really interesting. So the next game that we have to share is Nintendo might be working on something that's completely aside from Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Odyssey, Donkey Kong Bonanza, maybe a brand new Mario game. Like if you take a look at it, there's a possibility of seeing an open world Mario game. Now, how would that work? I have no idea, but I think it would be really cool. There's already some games that are semi-open world in Mario, like Mario Odyssey, I would consider a semi-open world game. If you consider Mario Galaxy 2 as a semi-open world game, it's a big possibility that we could be seeing a brand new Mario game in an open world style of gameplay, where you got the city on one end, you got the desert on another end, Ice Age on some end, you got a flower bog in some place, and overall, you can go on anywhere you want, and you can go different regions and do different missions, kind of like how Bowser's Fury kind of worked, but more in a Mario section. So yeah, I think that this would be really interesting. These are a lot of games that we're probably going to be seeing at some point. Now, I could be completely wrong. These are, of course, just based off of leaks, rumors, and information that we got directly from Nintendo, but it's not 100% confirmed yet. So anyways, what do you think about all of this stuff? Do you think the games that we will be seeing on Nintendo Switch 2, now of course these are first-party Nintendo games, maybe I'll make a third-party one if you like this one. So consider it a drop a like. If we get to 100 likes, I'll be really happy, and maybe I'll do something very special. I don't know, anyways. Thank you so much for watching. Consider to hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new, and with that being said, I hope you have a fantastic day, and see you in the next one. Woohoo!